Hello, everyone, and welcome to Four Walls, the official podcast of Sigma Pi Epsilon-Nu chapter for alumni to share their fun stories about their time in the chapter and dive into life's journey afterwards. I'm Josh, recent CSUF grad and current alumni advisor. I'm joined by co-host Jacob, who's the current sage. Enjoy the episode.
So, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the fantastic second episode of the Four Walls podcast. I am one of the co-hosts, Jacob, the current president of the Epsilon-Nu chapter, alongside my best friend, Joshua Borjas, one of our current alumni advisors. We have two very special guests, Christopher Keith and Evan Paul, a.k.a. Coach Salgado, if you guys want to introduce yourself a little bit.
Yeah, I'll go first. Yeah,
I'll go CK.
Yeah. Thanks, bro. So I'm Chris Keith. A lot of people call me CK. I've been with Epsilon-Nu since spring 16. It's been a long time. I met a lot of guys, but two of the best are hosting this podcast right now, I was excited. Yeah, they hit us up, and I was like, I saw what you guys did in the first one. I was super stoked to be part of it.
Awesome, man. We appreciate you making it out today. Coach, you want to say a little something about yourself?
Yeah, I'm Evan, aka Coach. I'm currently graduated. I just graduated this past spring, and I've been with Epsilon-Nu. Actually, CK and I were pledge bros way back in the day with Divaz as our pledge master. But yeah, I've been with the fraternity a long time, and it's been one crazy time. And I've met a lot of good people, a lot of interesting people. A lot of people that I would like to, probably not see again, probably see again. Who knows? But I'm glad I get to see these three people again, and I'm looking forward to today.
Awesome. All right, so we're going to move into our first segment here. It's called What's New With You. It's a little bit of the same thing you kind of did, but just talking about kind of what you've been up to recently in like the past year or so, and what your sort of goals are for like your career-wise in the future.
So right now I'm still in school at Cal State Fullerton. Be graduating in spring. I just got a couple classes to take in spring, studying marketing. I'm trying to find some internship opportunities right now, and that's really as far as it goes for the career aspect for me. But I've been living at home now with my parents and my sister, so it's good to always see family, but still making time to hang out with the guys when I can.
Go ahead. And for me, let's see. Like I said, I just graduated in the spring, and right now I'm currently back home as well, living out in the desert with my family. I currently work for an agricultural chemical company, and right now we're kind of in the middle of a busy season. So I've been working a lot, and for the future, I've talked to a few people, and I see myself moving up in the company actually pretty soon, and getting a chance to probably move out of California and getting to experience what the world has to offer. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me as well.
So agricultural chemical, is that like pesticides or what?
Yeah, pesticides, insecticides, herbicides.
Everything that's wrong with our food.
I was about to say, everything, like if you think your organic food like is just pure, yeah, there's some stuff up in there.
You got something to say about that?
I was gonna say, so all the food documentaries are just about you.
Yeah, Coach is the enemy.
It's me. I'm the bad guy.
Wild.
Awesome. Well, one of the cool things about this is just to get people to see your beautiful faces and learn more about you. And
the legends.
As a poor unemployed boy as myself, I'm also kind of hoping that someone kind of likes me after this and wants to hire me. So hopefully
that's what this is. Where you're employed to get hired somewhere.
Basically, it's just one big interview.
Okay.
Good to know, man.
Yeah, we're just marketing ourselves.
Like that?
It's a good plan.
Yeah. This is actually our marketing capstone, CK.
I'm glad I knew about it beforehand. I'm glad I got to participate.
Let's go ahead and move into our second segment. And we're going to call this Take a Sip. So this is where we're going to get real silly and bring out our beverages. I'd also like to preface that we're all of legal age. I am the most prepubescent of the group, as still only being exactly 21 years old, but you grandpas have passed that mark a long time ago.
Are you 24 as well, Coach?
No, I'm 23, actually. I just turned 23 last month.
That's right. Happy belated birthday. Sheesh.
Actually, just cheers to that.
Wow, so, I think we can just kind of shout it out, go around in a circle, whatever works best. So I can start. So basically, the simple idea is we just say take a sip if, and then whatever you say, and if it applies to you, then you take a sip. So I think we'll do it for how long we can come up with questions for whoever finish their drinks first. If you're a big gulper, I know CK likes to swallow, so it might be him. But
thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Very cool of you.
No
Just
problem.
air me out in front of everybody. That's tight. I'm so glad I came on this podcast, dude.
Hey, man, these episodes only get like 50 views, so I don't think we're exposing you to anybody.
Bigger than any public speaking class that I've had. So.
Yeah. No, watch this episode be the one that blows up on like Twitter or something.
Dude, it better not.
Anyway, so I'll start. I think I've got a good one. I'll start with take a sip if you've ever brought multiple dates to pref or formal. Okay, I want to hear the story though. Any time where it was like actual multiple dates or just like multiple friends?
It's been a couple times where like I brought like a couple girls, but usually it was like I was bringing one of my friends and they kind of asked like, "Oh, can we bring these other girls?" There was one time though, like I met this girl and I was like we were kind of interested in each other, so I was gonna take her to pref, and we're just gonna get to know each other, have some fun. But then I guess apparently like over the few months preceding that pref, I had just been like drunkenly telling my friends like, "Oh yeah, you can come to pref with me. Like we can for sure do that. Like I'm bringing a bunch of girls." And then I actually like met this girl that I wanted to take, but I was like, I can't just back out on a bunch of my friends. Like they're planning to come out and like hang out with us. So I kind of let my date know, and she was like a little like she was like down at first, and like she was still cool the whole night. But I just kept having like more and more of my friends show up, and I was like, oh yeah, like introducing her as my date. But I was like, and also like that whole like little group over there that's like going crazy and being wild. Like
class is also my date. So
yeah, but it was never a shortage of fun. Pref, I'll just say that.
Yeah, I feel like pref is really the time where you take multiple dates. I took our two sweethearts, Jessica Sherman and Rachel Bauer, to your first pref, Jacob. The one at, what was it, like? I don't know where it was. It was like in Long Beach, I think. That was the first time it took multiple dates.
Oh, was it the Reef?
I think it was the Reef. Yeah, when we had Long Beach.
Yeah.
I think that was the spring semester.
They all blend together, bro.
They do. I mean, I don't know.
Wow, you guys are animals, bro. You really lose track because you drink crazy.
It's okay. He's frozen.
Josh as an RA, never a sober day, and that it rhymes, so you know it's true.
Yeah, because my residents wanted whatever.
You don't get yourself caught up, Josh.
Yeah, no.
Anyway, no, yeah, I only ever brought like multiple friends. I was never cool enough to pull something like that off.
I don't think any of us really were. It was usually just, friends.
Coach, were you frozen this entire time?
I heard
Dude,
everything.
he froze with just like the cheesy ass
Did I
smile.
miss a lot? Did I miss a lot? If that's the case, okay. I don't know, but
He's just like, I'll drink.
yeah, I don't know how many sips we had taken. So,
We were still on the multiple date thing.
oh, okay.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's all good.
How about that?
Josh, you have one maybe?
Take a slip if you slapped my face at any one of our parties. Picture or in person?
Oh. used to slap the living crap out of pictures of you.
Bro.
That was like one of the funniest trends.
Why did that become a thing? Why?
I think, well, because it kind of started at Coach's house. Like we had the picture of you just like kind of sitting above the back door, and like we would dap you up every time we came in or out, and it kind of just became like a slap rather than anything else.
I think Kirsty went to go see Sam, who was on my floor, and then as you were walking out, didn't you steal that picture from like the RA poster or something?
I had forgotten about that. That's exactly where I got it.
It was not only like assault towards his picture, it was also theft from the university.
Once again, man, I'm happy to be on today.
And then it just became like any picture of Josh you could find around campus. It was like slap it.
Yeah, there was a lot.
There were a lot. His face was all over the place.
Gross.
All right. Either of you got one?
Oh, a what? A us?
Yeah. You guys go for one.
Take a sip. All right. I'll say one. Take a sip if. Let's just do this. Take a sip if you've taken shots before 10 a.m.
Retreat.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, I was gonna say for all the future employers out there, again, retreat and formal, it gets to you. I'm 1,000% sure it was you, CK. This was at San Diego Formal, my first fall, and it wasn't like in the morning, but it was the middle of the night. I went to sleep early. At like 12:30, which I guess is early for like a formal. I was tired, I wanted to go to sleep. And about an hour later, like 1:30, like the door just opens to my room. I'm just like asleep, like on my bed. And it's fucking CK like shaking me. He's like, "Hey man, get up." And I was like, "What?" Like all like out of it, like, "What? What's going on?" He's like, "Hey man, you got a shotgun with me." And I was just like, "Why?" And he's like, "It's formal, bro. Like just do it." So I literally like waddle like to the next room and then like just shotgun in the bathroom with CK. And like I remember just looking, like we were just looking at each other after we finished like chugging. Our eyes were all red, like we were just getting bloated and stuff. And like you were just like, that was a bad idea. and then I just walked back from the room, back to sleep. And I was like, why did I do that? What was that?
My bad, dude. That sounds exactly like something I would do at that time.
100% you, CK.
Yeah, it was a formative experience, I'm sure.
No, it did. It molded me into a man, and that's what Sigma Pi is about,
And I can I can imagine our face just being like, man, like that was not good.
People's faces after chugging is always like they just realize they like did the worst thing.
Or during. Just look at people's eyes during. It looks like they're fighting the will of God.
Like
internal
eyes,
conflict.
The eyes when like the bubbles fizz up like to their face.
And then trying to look tough, like it's not hurting them.
Yeah, no. All right, Coach, do you have one?
Yeah. Let's see. Take a sip if you've ever found love at the BZ.
found love.
We'll put it in quotations. You get to determine
Up for
what
interpretation.
finding love is.
Oh wait, what's the BZ for people who don't know?
That's all you, big guy. That's all you.
It was the name of our house and apartment. No, apartment first and then house.
And who lived there?
It was me, Ted, Derek, and Tristan. And then after Tristan moved out, Katie moved in. So all fraternity brothers, and then it turned into 3 fraternity brothers, then a sorority girl. So, but it was the home of few great legendary parties. But yeah, and I've seen a lot of things happen there. So I just wanted to know if it was any of you guys that had found love out there.
It was never me.
Yeah, no. The biggest thing is I ate shit on your backyard, and then they made me sit down for an hour because they thought it was just an uneven paintball.
Hilarious.
I do remember. I mean, and I don't. Man, am I gonna incriminate anybody? I remember. It was one of our first parties with Dion when Dion first joined.
Oh,
and because you guys only have one bathroom open to the public, and so there's a line of 20 girls, I don't know, trying to all get into the bathroom, and it's locked for an hour, and then out walks Dion with some random girl. And he's just oh, my bad, guys. It was I think it was the first party we'd ever had him, and I was just oh my god, it's what an animal, bro.
Yeah, without a doubt, it was
absolutely just claiming the bathroom.
Doesn't even brand new, still only knows only 3 people's names, and just I was being an alpha. It was beautiful.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was freaking hilarious. That wasn't my bathroom anymore. I never used it after that. And I lived in that house 2 years ago.
You had the adjacent room and you still were
no. I'm not touching that.
It's probably smart, to be honest. Okay. I don't know. I'm trying to think of stuff that's friendly, I don't want to.
That's a good idea.
I don't want to get us too caught up. Let's move on to the deep dive part. We can just continue.
What are we drinking? Who finished?
I'm pretty close.
I'm a little less than halfway.
About half.
I'm here.
Do we want to finish it?
Shoot.
Yeah.
Why not? Same talk.
We all had the same eyes when we finished that chug. Woo. We all looked at each other and were maybe that was a bad idea.
Literally, we just talked about this, bro.
I have to get groceries after this.
Oh man, I just want to also put this out there to whoever's watching this that it's currently 12:37, and anyway, let's move on to deep dive. So,
Onward.
Josh, take it away.
Yeah, so I don't know if you've ever seen Hot Ones on YouTube. It's a great interview show. We're going to borrow one of their ideas. It's called Deep Dive. So what we did is Jacob and I went through both of your Instagrams, and we have some interesting videos and or pictures that need some more context and explaining. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a picture, and you're just going to give us the context behind the picture. Sound good?
Sure.
This is good. This is good.
So obviously being a little more PG, we have this. It says your new coaching staff with an actual legend right here, which we're going to ask after. But what is
Dude, I just realized who that. I could tell by the hairline and the ears.
Yeah. So, Coach, this is your Instagram. Can you tell us more about it?
Yeah. Okay. Well, first of all, this was I'll go over the caption first. So the caption, the reasoning behind that is because that was around the time that LSU had lost their football coach. I was a big football guy, obviously, as you can tell. And I was just joking around that it was their new coaching staff because it was me and this childlike CK right here on the right. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I've changed. I can say I've changed.
Yeah. But the picture itself, this is actually the origin story of Coach. This is where it started. This is the beginning right here. Right after this season where I led our intramural football team to a 1-6 record.
Yes.
Fantastic. I earned the name Coach from the fraternity. Some fraternity brother who was it? Nick Johnson. Yeah. Gosh.
We got to bring Nick Johnson.
He gave me that name, and that's where it stuck. So that's kind of the story behind the picture. I got really into it, and that clipboard had a bunch of really bad quotes and sayings that I would just show the team during breaks.
How many clipboards did you break?
Shoot. I'll probably only like 2. We lost 6 games, but those clipboards did last really long.
It's impressive.
I had a clipboard for one of the games. This was like one of the first couple games, and the one game where I broke my clipboard was the game we actually won, and I was just like super pumped up because I forget even who it was, but somebody was like running towards the end zone, like nobody in front of them, like just broke through, and I was super pumped. And so I just like threw my clipboard, and it was so flimsy and made of like such horrible material that like it just snapped in half in the middle of the air. And that was when we won. And then after that, I was like, I'm not buying another one. Like, I'm not even that committed to this. Like, what am I doing?
I remember, guys, back then, IMs were the biggest thing that happened in the day. It was so much fun. And I think little moments like that really made it just entertaining to see you guys get really involved. I mean, I know both of you guys would just hype each other up. Like people were asking, like, Coach, what are you listening to, bro? Like, why do you have your headphones up? No one's talking to you. It was just the one. But people were just so stoked. It was a fun time.
Yeah.
Okay, great. We're gonna go on the next picture. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Oh. So the caption says, we're missing one, but these guys who make college bearable, Sigma Pi. No hashtags, but it did get 171 likes. CK, do you want to tell us more about this?
So, oh man, this was like their first, when they started living together in the UHs. And I was kind of like just like their honorary roommate. Like I was over at the UHs all the time, even though like I lived like pretty close by. But yeah, so this was for pref. We did this, and like I didn't even end up wearing this. I don't think any of us even wore all this.
No, we didn't.
But yeah, we just dressed up, and we had seen something like similar to it on TFM, and we're like, oh, we should totally do that. Like, we're just like hitting our stride of just being like frat guys and really enjoying it. And we just, so we did this, and we took one also in the UH pool deck, just like, barely knee high, like water. And we're just standing in there, and someone sent it in, and we made it on Fail Friday.
Right.
And then, and then a couple of like years later, like a while later, someone like it randomly popped up again. Like they ran it twice on Fail Friday.
Yeah.
And it's also funny because there's another guy, Sean Dorley. He was like the first president. So he made the other photo, the one we're in the pool deck, he made that like the picture on his debit card, like got a custom debit card. And he told me like maybe a month and a half ago, he was out eating at like Yard House with Tiz, I think. And they like he used that card, and the waitress recognized us. She's like, "Oh my god, this is the TFM picture."
Oh my
dude.
God.
And he texted me immediately. He's like, "Dude, there's a girl who like she knows you." And I was like, "What do you mean she knows me?" She's like, "She knows the photo from my card." I was like, well, there goes like any chance that I could possibly have with this girl. Like, if you've seen it, then honestly, I don't want anything to do with you.
I mean, it's beautiful.
Oh my god.
How did the other fraternities and sororities react to this? Because I remember when I was, I think I was pledging, and I was like, bro, this was wild just to see this like spotlighted, because we were still pretty not recognized.
Yeah. So the thing is, like, I was pretty out of touch with most of like the rest of Greek life while I was like in chapter. I don't know, like I was just honestly focused on like hanging out with my friends, and I didn't like know a ton of sorority girls or anything like that. But I know Coach got recognized like a few times because of this like stunt we pulled, but nothing really like came of it. But like for me, because I think I look pretty like generic in that photo, like that could be any white dude who goes to Cal State Fullerton.
Okay, are we ready for the next one?
Yep.
All right. So this one also from CK's Instagram. Look at this. Look at this stud right here. And look at the studs around us. So the caption says, like, last night at Andrew Tisdale kicked ass in Mr. AKO with his stand-up routine and made us all proud.
You know, that was a time where I was really feeling myself. As you can see from the photo, I look cocky as hell, and my jawline looks pretty good, so I'm stoked about that. I still really like this photo, but that ring on my middle finger there, if like at the bottom of it, it was like a bottle opener ring, but I kept that part on the inside of my hand just so it looked regular. But yeah, that I was 100% like leaned in to being a frat guy, and honestly, I'm still really happy with this photo. Like I think I look great.
It's good. I like it.
Put in the Tinder like stack.
Is that? Please tell me that's a shark tooth necklace.
Dude, it is.
Yeah.
I still have it, and I wear it.
It's beautiful.
Gosh. Dude.
It really completes the look. And you're right. I do think
this is hilarious. I forgot about this.
Coach, do you remember that night?
Shoot. Which one was that? I don't even think I was I there? Shoot. I can't even remember.
I don't remember.
I don't think you were there because like you were working at Hopscotch at the time.
I had to have been working.
Yeah.
Because that was most of my life.
Because you would be in this photo if you were there.
Dude, CK, this just looks like one of those images that like guys would crop out and just use as their LinkedIn profile for like 30 years. This is it.
You know what's funny is my LinkedIn, like my profile picture on LinkedIn for a while was just like a cropped photo of like me before 80 Pi formal. Like I was wearing a suit that looked, and like the tie with it actually looked like semi-business like it was a pink tie and a navy suit, and like I looked happy and like cool, so I put that on. But it was just because I had never gotten a headshot done, and yeah, but it's different now, thankfully. But
this is 100% a photo that your kids or grandkids are gonna look at when you're like 80 and be like, wow, like you look so different back then.
Honestly, I'll probably have like a grandson who look exactly like this.
I hope so.
Because I look really similar to my grandfather on my dad's side. Like I can definitely see the resemblance when we were younger, especially. But yeah, it'll honestly just be like looking at my grandson and looking at this and being like, damn, so like, what have you done to live up to what I've like laid out for you, big guy?
Yike-a-rooney. On that note, we're going to go to the next picture. Yeah, and then this one is from CK as well.
Oh my God. Is this just like the
so
like deep dive on me, not even coach?
Yeah.
Right on Coach didn't have much.
Coach,
So,
I don't have an Instagram.
yeah, but you don't have much. So like I was trying to find some.
It's okay. I'm happy to bear all.
Sacrifice yourself.
Yeah, this is
Gosh.
this is my Greek family, I guess. You can see the guy I'm next to in the collared shirt in the middle. That's Weston, my big. You know, if you know Weston, he's a wild card, and you know, that's where I learned to be who I am. And then the other girl on the end, that's Bree. That's my big, like, she's from ZTA, and yeah, she's just like the sweetest person ever. Like, I love Bree. She's awesome. And then I don't know why Josh James is there. Because Sebastian was my little, right? Kelsey, the other girl, was my twin. Tiz is also Weston's little. Like, but I don't know why Josh is there. I think maybe he was like Kelsey's big, but yeah, I'm not exactly sure. But he was there. It was a good time. This was just at BJ's. There's not too much to say about it. It was a lot less rowdy than I thought it was going to be.
I guess like during that time frame, what was like going through your mind about Greek life? What was like the big hot button topics? What were some things that were challenging in the chapter? Like kind of take us back to that time.
So this was, I think, probably spring of 17, like around that time, maybe a semester later. And we were still like kind of making our presence known, growing as a chapter, trying to make the sororities like us, like, stuff like that. And I remember like a bunch of, like, this was at like the beginning of where guys started getting like sorority bigs. Like a lot of people were getting them. And I was like, damn, like low-key, I want one. But I didn't really know that many sorority girls who were older than me. So, I was like stoked when Bree picked me up. But at the same time, I was like we weren't super close at the time, but like we always got along well. But yeah, it was just like kind of like a random thing to happen where like she wanted a little and I wanted a big. So like we just did it to not be like the last ones to the party. But this was like the formative time of Sigma Pi where we were still kind of working out the kinks.
I feel that. Dark days. Would you agree, Coach?
Yeah, this was it was a weird time, I'm not gonna lie. I think it's kind of when we started to find ourselves and find out who was really in it to win it and who was just there to, mess around. And I don't know, it was just so strange to think of, how much it's changed. And I know that CK said that we're like working out the kinks during this time. I think even, after this, it was still working out kinks and stuff like that. But yeah, this was one of those times where there were just so many things that were, on meeting agendas and like things you had to do every single week just to make sure that we're, gonna live on and the fraternity was gonna live on. So it was a good time. I'm not gonna lie.
It's always beauty in the struggle and ugliness and success.
On that note, let's move on to bid or no bid. This is a fan favorite. So Josh, you want to lead it off? So basically the idea is we're going to list stuff kind of rapid fire, and you two are going to have to decide if it gets a bid or it doesn't get a bid, if you like it or you don't like it. So Josh, you want to start us off?
Yeah, for sure. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Xbox. Bid or no bid?
No bid.
I have to bid.
Oof. Okay. Seltzers.
No bid.
bid.
Oof.
Ooh, okay. Horror movies.
Bid.
Okay.
Gambling new money.
Bid.
Say it again.
Gambling dues money.
Bid.
Bid.
How do
Smelling
you think you
salts.
pay dues? Smelling
Bid or no
salts?
bid? Smelling salts.
Bid.
Actually studying in the library.
Oof. No bid.
CK?
No bid. No bid.
Suits with swimsuits on under.
Bid.
Dude, automatic bid.
Snap bid.
Stagecoach.
Bid.
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 Agreed.
Bid.
Bourbon. Bid or no bid?
Bid.
Nothing fatter than bourbon.
Jacob's the last one.
Can't believe I've said that.
Last but not least, sidewalk slammers. Bid or no bid?
No bid.
No bid.
All right. Let's walk back. Let's walk through some of these. So seltzers. Why no bid for both of you?
Out on them, I think. They're good for a time, but I always find myself going back to beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a big sparkling water guy. So like the seltzer life isn't my favorite. I will say I've come around a little bit. I don't dislike them as much as I used to.
Like if that's what you got, then like I'll have a couple, but it just kind of tastes like vodka inside LaCroix, and it's just not really my thing.
I think that's what it is. I think it's just
All right, okay. Why do you think that no one actually studies in the library? What's the phenomena behind that?
There's too many girls.
Too many. Wait.
So the guys are just focused on the girls, and the girls are just focused on talking to the girls.
Yeah.
So nobody's interested in the guys at all.
Wait, yeah. So the guys want to talk to the girls, and the girls want to talk to the other girls.
Yeah.
yeah.
And so nobody gets anything done.
That actually sounds very correct about all of us. No, it's too distracting. You know, I would say there's a lot of cute guys in there. You know, that distract.
that one guy.
I'd go the other way.
Always.
Mario says-
I know exactly who that is.
There's always one dude just flexing hella hard in the library. Like an extra medium shirt on.
Same outfit every day.
Yeah.
Like walking around with his spine like curved into oblivion.
All right, last one. Okay, sidewalk slammers. Tell us about those.
So it's a 40 and a four loco, and you drink I think the half of the 40 first or half of the four loco first. I don't know. It's been a while since I've done one, and but you drink half of both drinks and then you mix them together and then finish that, and it's something like some of my good friends in the fraternity would do them like multiple times a week sometimes. Like they loved it. They could not get enough. Yeah, it was Sean and like Jack Arbaugh and like that whole, it was the people who moved into 1171 the year after like Ted and Derek and Leon lived there and all that.
That was right? 1171.
Yeah. That was like the first BC, and then so when I would go over there, they were like, we're doing sidewalk slammers, like, you want to come? And I was like, well, yeah, like I'm down. But as I like started progressing through college more and more, I dreaded being invited to do it, because I was always going to say yes. Like I was always down to hang out with the guys and drink a little bit. Like it's fun, but it was they're tough to get through, and maybe I'm just like weak. Maybe I'm a poser. I don't know, but
I mean, I totally agree. I mean, because what are Four Locos? It's just alcohol and chemicals. It's like the same chemicals that Coach makes at his factory. Like nobody knows what's in a Four Loko, like it could be anything.
Pesticides and booze into our system.
Exactly. Oh man, they're so bad. And so I didn't really go out or anything in high school. I was a very good boy. So like I didn't know what Four Locos like even were. I never heard of them before. So when like Sean Hiller like hit me up one day, he's like, "Oh, we want to do sidewalk slammers." Keep in mind, it was a freaking Monday night. He's like, "Let's do sidewalk slammers," and I knew what they were. So I was like, "All right, like I'm down." So I go over, and he's like, "Yeah, man, you just drink half of this one, drink half of this thing, mix it together, and like you'll be like slamming the sidewalk." And I'm like, "But do I want to be doing that?" Like I got a whole week planned. Like, I was super hungover the next day. Like it was not a good feeling. And like ever since then, I think like whenever someone mentions Four Loko, I just like shudder a little bit. I'm like,
scarred.
Gross. Stay away.
That was probably one of the most like interesting trends of the chapter. Just like, let's just do it. Random.
All right. So that'll conclude Bit or No Bit for us. So we're going to move into our final segment here. It's called Glory Days. So it's a little bit of what we've been doing, but just kind of trying to, reminisce a little bit about some of your favorite memories from your time in the chapter, some funny stories, and then maybe just ending with maybe just, I don't know, just a last statement or any little piece of wisdom you give to like the young fellows watching this.
Dang.
I'd have to say my greatest memories were like at the Brotherhood retreats. It's just like a totally different vibe when you're out like in the mountain air, like or wherever we were having it, and it's just all guys there, like, and everybody being like present and paying attention. Nobody's like distracted on their phones, like nobody's trying to hit on girls. Like it's not like a party, like it's just a weekend of like quality time with your brothers. And I remember the first Brotherhood retreat, like things kind of got out of hand and like it was kind of crazy, but I think we also had times where like even through all like the wildness and craziness, like we were able to actually like really get to know each other, because this was like kind of the first time where we had done something like this. And you kind of get to see who guys really are and how different everybody is, but at the same time, like you understand, like, yeah, they're so different from you, but at the same time, like we're still like good friends and we respect each other, and like we're cool. Not to mention, like, we do like go pretty hard at retreats, so that obviously makes it like super fun. I'm trying to think of a good story to share from the retreat days. Coach, can you think of any good stories?
Like retreat?
Yeah, or just anything.
Well, because that's what I was going to say. I mean, like the retreats are always like the best, and that first one in Big Bear was insane. From like getting there and just going straight into everything, straight like just going hard right off the bat, to going on a hike the next morning knowing the entire chapter was just about to puke. I think that was like that might have been like the best part of it. But shoot, like I would say the whole family aspect really just it created this divide in the chapter that was literally like it formed a union within the same weekend.
Yeah, that was it was almost like warfare on each other. Like it started off as pranks, and then it became like genuine conflict. And at that moment was when we kind of like realized, you kind of have to take a step back sometimes and understand when you're taking it a little bit far. And I was like part of the problem as well. Like me and Weston in the same group are kind of a big thing to handle sometimes. We just kind of feed off of each other's energy. But it was also, like I said, it was fun. And afterward, we were able to like grow through it. And like I said, a very formative time, our first time doing something like that. But I remember I went to one of the cabins and somebody had brought boxing gloves, but just one pair. And so like we were having like fights, but since like we would all just have one glove. So I boxed with Josh James. And we had the rule like, only like body shots, right? So nothing to the head, but you only have one glove. And so it really just kind of became this thing where dudes would just close in on each other and then just keep beating like the shit out of each other's sides. And then that was all it was. It was not entertaining to watch or anything, but I think it helped us blow off a little bit of steam, which, is always fun. But, that was the first fight club that we had. And it was kind of a trip. I was like, I can't believe I'm doing this. Like a lot of the times when, you're doing fun stuff, like at retreats or formals or even just at a party, you're like, sometimes like, I can't actually believe I joined a fraternity. Like it's kind of a trip. Never considered myself this kind of person before, but
I feel that.
I'm trying to think of another good story that that Coach and I both know a little something about.
There are some, I don't know if I want to say them.
Coach, everybody knows everything about me now, so I think you need some skin in the game.
Dude, I can't even think of anything because I really can't remember.
Oh, all right. I have one. Speaking of not remembering.
Oh God.
This was like the end of like fall semester, right? I forget what year it was, but it was the first year that we went to Vegas, and Coach and I both didn't go. And so the first day was a Thursday, and so like because neither of us went and we were both free in the nighttime, Coach and I went to Lazy Dog, and we started with like their happy hour there. And they do this thing where like you can get a beer and then for an extra like couple dollars you can pair it with a shot. It's called cowboying up. So you get like a shot of whiskey and a beer for, I don't know, probably like around $10-12. Yeah. So we were just doing that, watching I don't even think we were watching football. Like
we were watching golf. I think it was golf.
Golf.
It was golf for sure.
And we got so hammered. We got Julian Oliva to come pick us up. Like randomly, we were like, all right, who's still like in Fullerton who didn't go, who would be down to pick us up? And yeah, we decided on Julian. And so he comes and picks us up in his like little car, like little Fiat. And we convinced him, we're like, all right, before you take us back to Coach's house, like take us to Total Wine. It's like right down the street, right there. And we picked up another bottle of bourbon and some cigars. And we just went back to Coach's house and we're like drinking and smoking. And Julian hung out for a little bit and then just like left. And Coach and I just started like conversating about like just life. And all of a sudden getting like super deep. And then randomly we're both just like, man, I want to like meet new people. Like I want to go like talk to like strangers and shit. Like I just want to like go out. And so we're like, all right, let's go out. So we went to downtown Fullerton. And this is like midnight. We're both super hammered already. And that's where I forget everything that happened. But Coach remembers some.
I think so. We ended up at we ended up at Revolution, the Mexican bar, the cantina, and I'm pretty sure Chris told me, CK had told me, he was like I need to go home or something, or like he said his mom was needed something, or I can't remember what it was. The next morning, like I don't know what it was. Later, I found out that like a friend was in downtown Fullerton, and like you went to go hang out or something like that. So I was at the bar, and then that's where like it kind of gets like kind of blurry a bit. But at one point, I know that I had just like ran out of the bar, and I was on the sidewalk, and I like wasn't feeling good, so I started puking a bit. Well, it turns out like the person that was helping me throughout all this was a fraternity alumni. It was freaking Chris Rubio out of nowhere.
Wild.
He came up.
What?
And he was like, "Yo, are you okay?" And then he like kept buying me drinks even after that. And then I was like, "Are you serious?" And then it was so random. I don't remember what exactly happened, like how I got home, but like I was partying with Chris Rubio for more than half the night. And then the next day he texted me asking me if I was okay. And yeah, I mean, I was fine. And then he said that because he was with some lady there. And I was like, did you and that lady make it home okay? And he was like, oh, no, I just left her. And I'm like, dude, what? Oh.
Well, that's Rubio.
He was like, yeah, I just left. I didn't feel like being there anymore. And I'm like, dude, what? So yeah, that was like, that night was pretty hilarious. And the fact that we called Julian to pick us up, and I remember I texted group chat. I was like, it's an emergency. We need a ride. And Julian Oliva was like Johnny on the spot, like right there, ready to pick us up. He thought we were like in danger, but we just didn't want to pay for an Uber.
Yeah, I know. It was just being cheap. Like that was it.
I love that.
Typical me.
I got a question for you guys. So what we forgot to mention is both of you are founding fathers. So that comes with a completely different experience as like a normal active member. Right now, because of COVID, retreat is hard to plan, right? A lot of things are hard to plan. Two questions that kind of lead together. Like, how was it being a founding father going through that experience? And then what do you tell the guys now who have the experience now with COVID and then like going forward?
Oh shoot.
For me, I think like my experience as a founding father was like overall really good. I was on the EC when we chartered. I had a lot to do with planning the chartering banquet, and because I was the fourth counselor at the time, secretary. So, for me, those first years were, my first semester as an active, because this was like fall 16, right? That was when Coach and I became actually really good friends. Like we weren't really super close as Pledge Bros, but we became super close the following semester, and we partied a lot and we had a lot of fun, and it was just like one long bender, honestly. But but I always knew like I had like wanted to take some leadership positions. I wanted to help out in any way I could, and I thought I would be a good candidate for secretary. It turns out nobody else was running, but I was confident that I could beat it. And a couple guys during the election on their ballots, like because it was just like an official thing, like we have to vote. Some of the guys just voted not Chris Keith. And I was like, all right, that's tight. Like, very cool of you. Very cool of you. Appreciate the confidence. But, I was still young at the time, sophomore in college. And I'm not going to lie, like Jordan Lim, the president at the time, like he was a workhorse. Like he kind of put the fraternity on his back. And so sometimes like he was even doing parts of my job because he had his hands like all over everything, which was good. We needed that kind of leadership. So I learned a lot from him on leading and managing, and honestly, just being like a little bit more of a productive person. So that was a really good experience for me, was working with him that first semester, and following that. But the first, years, it was like 2 years before we got like chartered from when it was recolonized. We really like valued each other as brothers, and that was what kept everybody together, because there was no real like girl involvement. Like, we didn't have the respect from the sororities yet. We didn't really have the respect from the school or the other fraternities. Like, we were just this ragtag group of guys that kind of had a vision, and we came together to make it happen. But it was cool because we were really enjoying each other as brothers, and having fun together, and that was like kind of one of the first times like I felt super close to like a group of guys. So it was cool, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. Like, I look at what you guys are doing now, and I'm like, man, it must be so fun to be like young and new to the Greek life process, like at this time in Sigma Pi. Obviously COVID is making it kind of difficult, but if the guys can keep thinking about what matters, and what a fraternity really means, and stick to that, I think fraternity will come out stronger, if anything.
Definitely.
That's all I have to say.
Yeah, so my experience when it came to founding, I just it was just a lot of change going on, and like CK said, him and I were really close, and we got really close during that time. But that's when like you saw the change, and I mean, it used to be parties at the UH with like all dudes, right? CK, like, it was just all guys, and then like, oh dude, like,
that's where more dudes came from.
Yeah, like and then it just evolved. But that time was just a lot of focusing on ourselves, and focusing on creating the brand of Sigma Pi, and really striving the excellence in that whole aspect. But yeah, that's kind of what gave me the idea of Sigma Pi, was during the time when we went from a colony to a chapter, was really learning the core values. And then once it got to our chartering, like, that was huge for me. I got to see a lot like of the real rituals, and really get to feel what happened with other chapters, and know that I'm part of this huge brotherhood. But yeah, I mean, I didn't serve on like EC or anything, but I still kind of was, I would say, well known in the chapter. I hung out with a bunch of different guys, and it was really fun. But I mean, now obviously it's a little different with COVID and everything. So, I think the one thing that I would tell guys coming in now is just stay close to your boys. Find different ways to hang out. Like, if you need a Zoom, or if you want to like, play video games together, Discord chat, something like that. Even if you guys like can safely meet up or something, like, that's probably gonna be the most important thing. Obviously it's going to be totally different now. We can't do like 10 guy parties like we used to, but it's going to be a little different. But I think the one thing you have to know is the chapter is there for you, and what you're going to put into the chapter is what you're going to get out of it. So you got to put in the effort to meet your brothers, meet the current members, and meet your pledge bros, just to get that experience out of it. And that's what I learned, through the whole time I was there. And that's all I have to say.
Awesome, man. I'm in a weird spot. I'm in my little twilight hours of my Sigma Pi career. So I often find myself like looking back on it, like you guys, even though I'm like technically I'm still in it, but I think it's going to be one of those things where I'll do more like sort of like analyzing of like what it all meant, like once I'm like actually out of the chapter, like officially. But it definitely has been like one of the most formative, I think that's the word of the day from CK, formative experiences of my life so far. So Josh, if you have anything else to say, I think that's pretty much everything we got.
No, I mean, we appreciate you guys. We miss you guys, and you're always welcome at Chapter and any alumni events. We'd love to see you come by, especially after the episode. I know you guys are going to get probably Instagram followers, so.
That's right. Is this where we like shamelessly plug ourselves? Or?
What are you doing with your life? Let us know.
I mean, if anybody does want to follow me, like, just text me. Just text me 562-667-7197. That's all I have to say. If you're really about it, hop on a phone call with me.
You heard him. Ladies, maybe some choice gentlemen as well. Hit them up.
Not picky.
All right. Thank you again, guys, for making it out. We appreciate it, and thank you to everyone that stuck around to this far into the podcast. But that's it for this one. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.